Carrie, roll call, please.
Martin Cazada.
Here.
Hilda Ortega Rosales.
Here.
Susan Sarin.
Here.
Monica Granado.
Here.
Jose Arenas.
Here.
Jimena. Joaquin. And Milani. There being 5 members, there is a quorum.
I now call the regular board meeting of March 24, 2026 to order. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Ms. Hilda Ortega Rosales makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Susan seconds. Is there any discussion? Carrie, please take a roll call vote.
Martin Cazada.
Yes.
Hilda Ortega Rosales.
Yes.
Susan Sarin.
Yes.
Monica Granado.
Yes.
And Jose Arenas.
Yes.
There being 5 in favor, the motion carries.
Great. Will everyone please stand if you are able to, and student board members, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? So good evening, everyone, and welcome. So this evening we'll begin with information-only reports. Dr. Cruz, would you like to introduce our student board members for the school reports, please?
Yes, good evening, Mr. President, esteemed board members, student board members, cabinet, and the community. It is our pleasure to have our student board members with us today to give our school reports, and we're going to start with Milani.
Good evening, Mr. President. Two highlights from these schools are starting with Desert Horizon. DH is getting ready for Tech in 10, a fun, fast-paced way to spotlight the amazing digital tools we use in our classrooms. This is a unique way to approach professional growth and training. Presenting gives our teachers experience and confidence for future opportunities. DH is building and refining our teachers' classroom skills. A huge shout out to all our participants. Your contributions make DH an even stronger learning community for our students. DH has made it professional learning the heart of our growth. Most recently, we had taken strides in building our overall collective success as a staff. Our most recent session involved station rotations, where 6 of the colleagues presented their effective instructional practice, all aligned to our PDSA. It was exceptional and exciting to see the high level of engagement, enthusiasm, and threat of literacy throughout each and every rotation. The administration would like to thank our ILT team for truly intentionally working at overall capacity building for our Desert Horizon family. Amber Leah celebrated Read Across America Day with Econ Reads, where volunteers engaged K through 3rd students through the storytelling while incorporating lessons on economics and personal finance. Each session included hands-on activities that made learning both fun and meaningful. We had an excellent turnout of volunteers, and students were highly engaged and excited to learn. This initiative supports the continued growth of Amber Leah's Career Entrepreneur Academy by building early financial literacy skills and a love for reading. Amber Leah's first grade students participated in the Flags for First Graders program presented by the Lions Club International. Students learned about the history and significance of the American flag while building an understanding of patriotism. Each student received an American flag to take home, making this a meaningful and memorable event experience. Pendergast held a Spirit Week to pump our students up for testing. We ended the week with the family Hawaiian barbecue that was moved indoor due to heated advisory. Thank you, Chartwells, for your flexibility. The Pendergast Green Team has been working hard to keep our garden green. They worked over the break to plant de-weed, paint our garden structure, and replant some items. We are gearing up for a Love Our Students Schools event in April that will focus on pollinators. Thank you, Ms. Bargan and team. Westwind would like to honor the Experienced Corps AARP tutoring for supporting our 2nd and 3rd grade students this school year. This school year, we had 28 students participate in a reading fluency and comprehension program with 7 dedicated volunteers. Westwind would like to honor the NAU Grandparent Program, AmeriCorps. The grandparents have been coming to Westwind all school year to work with kindergarten and 1st grade students. This program has amazing grandparents tutoring our outstanding Westwind students. Desert Mirage. The Desert Mirage Architecture Club took on the ambitious challenge of redesigning our school and presented their visionary concepts to a jury of architects and industry professionals. Our scholars demonstrated exponential confidence and real-world design thinking while defending their ideas at a professional level. This powerful experience highlights the depth of authentic learning and innovation happening at Des Mirage. Thank you to Grace Design for your continued partnership. Des Mirage celebrates our student, teachers, and instructional assistants as they are making a powerful impact in classrooms every day. Through strong collaboration, co-teaching, and international support, they are helping elevate instruction and ensure every scholar receives the attention they need to succeed. Their dedication and teamwork are truly strengthening our learning community. Copper King. Congratulations to our Copper King robotics team, Enraged Robots, for placing 9th at the state robotics competition. We are extremely proud of the team and the resilience they demonstrated throughout the season. A special thank you to Coach Ms. Walker for her continued support and dedication. Copper King's annual Copper King's Got Talent show will take place on April 1st at 5 p.m. in the cafeteria. Students and staff will be sharing their unique talents, and it promises to be an evening full of singing, dancing, and plenty of fun. We hope you can join us. And now, Joaquin will give his reports.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. President. Highlights from these schools are starting with Sunset Ridge. Sunset Ridge Field Day was an absolute success for our K through 8 students. From relay races to team challenges, our campus was filled with laughter, teamwork, and Cougar pride all day long. Students showed great sportsmanship while staying active and cheering one another on. A huge thank you to our amazing parents for donating water and light snacks to keep everyone energized and refreshed. It was a fantastic day enjoyed by all of our Cougars, students and staff alike, and a wonderful way to celebrate our strong Sunset Ridge community. The 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students recently enjoyed an unforgettable field trip to Sun City Country Club, where fun, laughter, and new experiences filled the day. From the moment they arrived, students were eager to explore the golf course, practicing their swings, and challenge their friends in a relaxed and exciting environment. Beyond the game itself, the trip gave students a chance to bond outside the classroom, build confidence, and create lasting memories with their classmates. Smiles, cheers, and friendly competition could be seen all around, making it clear that the day was a huge success. It was truly an amazing experience that students will be taking about for a long time. And I was one of the classes that was honored to go to this trip. And I gotta say, it was a very fun trip. We got to meet a lot of great people. And one person I would like to shout out especially, I could not get his full name, but I knew his name was Tom. And he was the, I believe, owner of the Sun City Country Club. And he was an amazing man to meet. And he introduced himself. And he was... He's honestly great for golf very good at golf at 87. And he's an outstanding man. So that's all I have to say. Now moving on to Canyon Breeze. Our school kicked off testing with an exciting pep assembly filled with student raffle prizes, staff versus student games, special teacher and World of Dance performances, and our Westside Impact Teacher of the Year announcement. Our school proudly sent 3 teams to the state robotics competition, earning impressive finishes on 4th, 6th, and 21st overall. We are incredibly proud of our students for their teamwork and innovation. A special thank you to Coach Bendo for his dedication to making this opportunity possible for our students. Rio Vista. Our Lighthouse team has been working diligently on collecting documentation for our Lighthouse certification visit coming in late April. We are incredibly excited to show the progress for our Leadership Academy over the last several years. Our 3rd to 8th grade students are all pumped up to ready to give their AASA their all after attending the testing kickoff assembly last Friday. This assembly was completely student-led by members of our Leadership Student Action Team, and it was filled with test-taking strategies and fun games. Garden Lakes. 4 Garden Lakes robotics teams completed the VEX IQ Middle School State Invitational. We are so proud of their hard work. A big shout out to Coach Tuggle, 4 middle school teams, and 1 elementary team at the state is a huge accomplishment. Go Diamondbacks! Garden Lakes would like to wish our cheer team good luck good luck, I believe, I think that's a typo, on the cheers competition this Friday. Your hard work and collaboration will shine. Thank you to Coach Sanger Vasio and Coach Michelle for your dedication on the team. Now moving on to Sonoran Sky. Sonoran Sky's 7th and 8th grade made the real-world connections to learning while they visited the state capitol last week on March 17th. They participated in Capitol Museum and building tours and ended the day with the face-to-face Q&A with the Senator Annalise Ortiz of the 24th District. K-8 Quarter 3 awards will take place this week on Wednesday and Friday for all grades with a focus on academic growth and commitment to character. We are very proud of our comments. And finally, Via de Paz. Congratulations to VDP Gearheads for winning the Judges Award at the recent state robotics competition. Thank you to teacher Alan Dwyer for countless hours he gives to VDP and PESD robotics. Via de Paz third graders have qualified for the finals for the Read to the Final Four competition. On April 2nd, our readers will participate in Tourney Town at Phoenix Convention Center where the winner will be revealed. Go Dust Devils. That's all the reports for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, student board members. Really appreciate the continued work, the effort, and the leadership from all of you. So thank you, Dr. Cruz. Next on the agenda, is the summary of current events from our superintendent and our governing board. Dr. Cruz, would you like to start?
Sure. Good evening, Mr. President, esteemed board members, student board members, cabinet, and the community. So we had a lovely spring break. I hope that each of you had the opportunity to rest and recharge a little bit. And our VEX robotics teams, as you heard, were competing during that time frame. And I think that we have a pretty fantastic problem. Dr. Brown is now trying to figure out how are we going to send kids to Worlds, because we are getting so close to having a number of student teams being able to compete in those world championships. So it looks like we had 3 teams that placed in the top 10. Canyon Breeze had 6th place. Via de Paz finished 8th. Garden Lakes placed 10th overall. The Via de Paz Gearheads, as you heard, earned the Judges Award, which was recognition of their innovation, teamwork, and creativity. And, we're just so proud of all of the students for their hard work and, for our coaches, their willingness to voluntarily lean into this work for our students and give not just our students, but students here in the West Valley and even some students who come from Maricopa to compete in our VEX robotics competitions that have been happening quarterly. So kudos to the Ed Services team for leading that charge. It certainly wasn't required, but oh my goodness, our kids are really flying because of that work on their part. So kudos to the Ed Services team and our principals and all those teacher coaches. They're really phenomenal and really cool people, so much appreciated. We had a great Lunch and Learn event today. It was really nice to see our business partners come out, so thanks. I know that a few of you were able to make it out to that. And Dr. Brown and I, right after spring break, had the opportunity, along with Kelsey Pennington, to go to the League of Innovative Schools convening. So we obviously, were admitted to the league and had the opportunity to go take a look and see what was happening in the Issaquah School District, and we also heard from folks in the Kent School District. And, what was nice is a couple things. One, it's always nice to connect with folks who are working towards what's next and what's really good for kids and teachers. And it was also affirmational that the path that we're on, lots of other places are working on the work as well. So again, just, kudos to Dr. Brown and Mrs. Pennington, for their work, and to the whole Ed Services team. And our principals, really leading the way. I think we should invite company over, to show off. Dr. Brown, as you can see, the grown-up in charge does not think that's a great idea. That's all right. That's all right. Also grateful to all of our teacher leaders and our administrators, because we've got flag football season and esports underway, and I appreciate their good humor in doing that when the weather kind of snuck up on us. Phoenix decided to Phoenix a little bit early, so kudos to those folks for doing that. We also, Mrs. Pohlmeyer took the Superintendent Student Council kids to the STEM Fest with the Phoenix Suns and Mercury, so that was a great event. And we're super proud that Via de Paz has made it to the Final Four in the Read to the Final Four competition. So I appreciate Mr. Mitness' commitment to global domination. And Amberlea and also a number of our other schools are still in the best of the rest competition. So really focused on third grade students reading and, building their fluency, which is just fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz, for those great updates. As we continue, next is the updates from our respective governing board members. I'd like to start with Ms. Hilda Ortega de Rosales.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I too want to echo that I hope that everybody who was on spring break last week took advantage of re-engaging with your families and resting, and I'm sure you did a few things that need to get done that can't get done otherwise. That's a good feeling too, so welcome back. And we have a little less than 9 weeks before our school year is over. Give it your best. This is an incredible time for us with testing and all the things that come, the promotions, etc. We're excited for what's coming in the next few months. The other thing is that I too attended the Lunch and Learn for our business partners. And as I've said in the past, we do get a really good attendance at those events. We have new people coming in. We have people who have been coming for years. And the breakout sessions that we have usually are very engaged. We have a lot of individuals who truly believe in our district. In the table that I was sitting at, sometimes, you have to, in these situations, if you're a board member sitting with other people, they may not want to say too much, but that wasn't the case today. They gave their opinions, gave some thoughts, and again, that's what we need. That's what we need, is for our community business partners to be engaged with us and at times tell us, you know what, I'm not sure about that, but let's talk. Let's see what we can do. But usually it's, this is great. What can I do to help and support that? So we have a great group of partners. The other thing that I wanted to mention is our student board members. I am so proud of you. You've grown so much this year. You're always so well prepared, well organized, engaged, and giving us your reports. I am sure that when you first started, you were a little nervous and apprehensive, but you could not tell that today. You are doing an excellent job, and you represent your fellow students very well, and you represent the Pendergast community very well. So thank you for your leadership, because you truly are leaders. Thank you. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Ortega de Rosales. Next, we have a birthday in the house and a celebration, if you will, celebratory moment for our Vice President, Ms. Monica Granado. So, Ms. Granado, you're next.
Oh, thank you for that birthday present, Mr. President. I love that. I love it. Let's see. I was able to do one event. I went to the state robotics tournament that everyone keeps talking about because we had such great representation. We really showed up, and I definitely want to echo what Dr. Cruz was saying about our staff and our coaches of these robotics teams, because this happened during spring break. It was the Saturday of that week off, and so they showed up full-fledged, ready to go with the students, and of course the students were ready and brought their A game because, like you heard, 4 of our schools ended in that final top 10 ranking. I was able to sit kind of inadvertently where Garden Lakes was sitting. I didn't know until you heard their teams getting ready to queue up to do their champion rounds, and you just heard. If you didn't know their team names, you knew them then, okay? Because you heard them just cheering, Mac and Cheesers, Dino Nuggets, just chanting. So if you didn't know, you know now. So that was really neat to see because we really stood out, and it was a good event. It was nice to see the kids just work with all of these other schools that maybe they'd never even met, but there were a lot of teams from, from Maricopa. We had a lot of alliances happen. So like I said, that was my pride of my spring break, was seeing our district shine. And yeah, so that was a great event. And I just want to thank, again, everyone that showed up there. I know it was spring break, but we brought it, and we're so proud of all the students and staff. So that's all I have.
Thank you to our Vice President, who's a year younger, so Ms. Monica. As we continue, Senator Quesada, please.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. First, just welcome back to everybody from spring break. I'm in one of those positions where I am not working in education, so I forget that it even is spring break until you all remind me. So I'm glad that you guys were able to get some time off and refresh a little bit and recharge. I know you definitely need it. I kind of wanted to touch on Milani's presentation about the architecture at Desert Mirage. That just sounded really, really cool, that Desert Mirage was able to do that. And it's funny because just this last week, I was at the Capitol speaking to some folks there, and they were asking us about what was one of our favorite courses when we were in school. And I mentioned architecture. I took architecture when I was in school too, and I loved it. And I told them I wish I would have taken that route professionally rather than what I actually did. But it was such an awesome class, and the fact that our students are able to take part in that as well. And Desert Mirage is doing such a good job. I just think that's really, really cool. So thank you guys for working on that and putting that together. I want to say congrats to all of the schools that participated in the robotics competition. It looks like it was Garden Lakes, Copper King, and Villa de Paz that either won an award or placed. So congrats to you. Whenever I think about robotics, I think about these kids are all young now, but that movie Spare Parts. If you haven't watched it, students, watch it. It's an awesome movie about a robotics team right here in Phoenix, Arizona, that went up against MIT and won. So I loved that movie. I got to meet one of the students that was in that robotics competition because he got really involved in politics after he graduated from high school. So he signed my Spare Parts book, and so I just think it's really cool, and I'm a fan of what robotics as a concept and as an extracurricular activity can do for students, and how much it really means to those students that are participating. And that movie really just shines a light, in the book too, it just shines a light on how special that experience can be. So just wanted to mention that. Joaquin, your report about the Sun City Country Club and that golf experience, that sounded really cool too. I'm not a golfer, so I'm sure that dude's way better than I am. But I think that's really cool that you got to do that, and good job catching that typo. Not a lot of people do that when they're reading through a report, so that was really intelligent. I like that. So good job with that. And then lastly, the students, the Sonoran Sky students that took a trip to the Capitol, Senator Ortiz actually reached out to me, and she was like, hey, are you around? Because I got an awesome group of Sonoran Sky kids that are here. And I was like, well, no, I was actually working. I was like, I'm not there. But she was texting me all afternoon talking about just how great those kids were and how much fun she had interacting with them. And she posted them pictures all on her social media as well. So sounds like you had a really good time, the students that participated. So for everyone at Sonoran Sky that helped make that happen too, thank you. And yeah, good work. And other than that, I just want to echo Ms. Ortega Rosales' comments to our student board members. You guys are awesome, doing a really good job already, so we're proud of you. And that's all I got, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Quesada. Ms. Sue Saran.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Let's see, I went over to Garden Lakes. They had an assembly, and during the assembly, the company Suntech actually recognized one of the teachers for her outstanding, teaching, and Miss So Mint, I've got to tell you, she even flew in the teacher's mother, and I am sorry, I forgot the teacher's name. Dr. Cruz, you may know it. But she even flew in her mom, so she was there to surprise her. And I got to tell you, Suntech, the teacher had a request for a lot of different things. Suntech had 2 tables full of supplies for the teachers, so it was a great assembly, and the kids really enjoyed it. I went to Borderlands, even though we were on spring break. Teachers showed up, and I've got to tell you, they work from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock. They work packing boxes, getting the boxes out to the cars and collecting the money. And there was a lot of good produce this time. And there were a lot of cars, I think there were over 200 for DoorDash. Those were the, that you order online, that the other is cash, and they came. And there was at least 400 cars with that, so it was busy. And then, let's see, went to Desert Horizon, Chef Jacob, he had his smoothie bike, and he was making smoothies for the kids. He had a volunteer that actually helped him make smoothies. There were two different types. The first type, there were apples and apple juice, and he had this jar of green stuff. And, we're looking like, wait a minute. And he told the kids it was from green apples. And we're looking like, I don't think so. But then he threw in to the kids how good spinach would be, and you wouldn't even know it was in a smoothie. Not many kids picked up on it. You were really great. You were fantastic. The kids enjoyed it. And then there were two different types. I think the consensus was they liked the second one a little bit because it was a little bit sweeter. But that was fun. That was fun watching him. And the smoothie bike, he actually puts the blender on the bike, and the kids bicycle, and it runs, and they make the smoothie that way. And today I was at the Partners Lunch and Learn, very well attended. Dr. Cruz gave an update on the reorganization and what's going on in the Pendergast district. And it was really good. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Cruz, for that. I think everyone enjoyed it. And that's my update.
Thank you, Ms. Saren.
Mr. President, I have that name from Ms. Saren. It's Morgan Hushaw. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I apologize for her.
It was
forgetting.
A secret surprise. So
I know it wasn't on the invite, so it was like, whoop.
I apologize for that. Thank you.
But that was cute. That was really a nice event.
Great. So my quick overview or report is, again, I think the common theme this evening is to our student board members. Thank you, Melania and Joaquin, for doing what you're doing. I know Jimena's out today, but thank you. Your leadership continues to strive in the right direction, and we respect you, and certainly hope that this has been a great experience for you. I know you still have a few more meetings, but thank you. Thank you. A quick reminder once again that I know it's a testing window of opportunity. That's my new way of, Romero, you may want to brand that, put a marketing, a testing window of opportunities, maybe T-shirts next time, but to all our staff members, our employees, and certainly our students, we want to wish them the best. It's springtime. We certainly know that, and here in the once a homer, always a homer. It's warm and it gets hot, and it's hot and it gets hotter, right? So please, just a friendly commercial reminder that it's hot out there, especially our site administrators that are out there on our campuses. We know that the kids are, they're resilient. We know that, but it's hot out there, and so just a reminder that it's going to be cool next week. It'll be 98, I believe. So, it'll be, but. Again, great feedback on the reports from our schools. There's a sense of vibrancy here in our school district as we start landing the plane. And then last and certainly not least, I certainly hope that everybody did have a great spring break, a safe spring break, and one that allowed you to decompress and get ready for the final weeks of our school year. So with that said, as we continue, next on the on our agenda is the citizens' comments. Carrie, are there any citizens' comments? And if you filled out a card to speak, please bring the card up to Carrie at this time if you have not already done so.
No, there are none.
Okay. So, continuing with the agenda. Can I have a consent agenda? Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through F?
So moved.
Senator Casale makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Monica Granado. Ms. Granado seconds that. Any discussion? Carrie, please take a roll call vote.
Martin Cazada?
Yes.
Hilda Ortega Rosales?
Yes.
Susan Sarin?
Yes.
Monica Granado?
Yes.
And Jose Arenas?
Yes.
There being 5 in favor, the motion carries.
Thank you. Hey, I think I caught myself. It's not even on here, but Doctor, because you're always real good with it.
Good job.
You're just proud of me. You're like, it's not that big of a deal, buddy. You're all right. Dr. Cruz, anything
Thank
on
you,
that?
Mr. President, esteemed board members, student board members, cabinet, and the community. We do get to celebrate. Some of our colleagues have stepped into this adventure that is our restructuring, and we're certainly proud and appreciative of their leadership and ongoing service in Pendergast. I know that for some of our colleagues who are going to be stepping out of the principalship and into being a director and providing more support to schools across the system, that's a really tough decision for them to make, as they absolutely love their school communities. But we're truly grateful to each and every person, and also grateful to each of you. Thank you so much for approving our new hires for this upcoming year. We're certainly excited to have them join the team, excited for folks who are moving into new roles, and super grateful again to folks who have been helping make sure that this works for our students.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because one statement or a couple of things I like to say is that on the consent agenda this evening, and what we just approved were a couple of administrators, internal administrators, that again, without I don't want to segregate or pick one or two, but those individuals that I feel that are now elevating their opportunities for success for our kids is really cool. So congratulations. And it's a lot of work. It doesn't happen overnight. And I've always said this, and I know I'm going to repeat myself again, but as a campus administrator, that's one of the most, the classroom teacher is one of the most difficult, right, and challenging. And it's a noble and honorable position. But as a campus administrator, the practicality, being a practitioner, being somebody who's there in the mornings before the morning begins, and I could go on and on. The winter when it's dark, and teachers are there with you. I know that, classified employees. But before the sun comes up, there's the principal, Mr. Principal, Miss Principal, Miss AP, Mr. AP. Nighttime, the calls, you take that home with you. So as I see this, and Dr. Cruz and I talked about this, what a neat opportunity. And this wasn't handed to any of you. You've earned it. And so I think that anytime you move to the district office position, it's different. It's not easier. It's different. It's not less. It's different. But you're still impacting kids at the beginning, middle, at the end. One of the toughest, this is a little advice, I guess. I'm sorry, I'll stop here. But one of the biggest challenges that I think that you will face as a campus administrator going to district office is that kid in you, that kid element. I need that student. But one of the neatest things that I've learned is that when you're having one of those days, where Dr. Cruz is kind of like, oh man, it's her again. Just kidding. But what you need to do, you go to a campus. You go to that campus, you sit in the classroom, you say, hey, that's where I started. This is what it's about. It's about the kiddos. So congratulations to each and every one of you who moved up and continue to move up. And I'm happy for you. Excited. So continuing next is presentation information. Next is the Financial Services Department fiscal year 2027 budget projection review. Tonight we have a presentation from our finance department with this particular budget fiscal year 2027 budget projection. I would like to invite Ms. Irina Lutz to get us started.
All right. Good evening, Mr. President, esteemed board members, student board members, Superintendent Cruz, cabinet, and members of the community. We are presenting our FY27 budget projections, so we're going to walk through enrollment trends, projected funding, and how we're planning to maintain services while remaining fiscally sustainable. So here you can see our average daily membership, which has experienced a gradual decline over time. So for FY27, we are projecting an approximate ADM of 7,178, which we're taking a conservative approach based on our current enrollment and the movement of our sections. So the state is statutorily required to give us a 2% increase, but this has not been finalized yet since the legislature is still in session. So we are forecasting using the 2% increase based upon state statute, which gives us the lesser of 2% or the rate of inflation. Here, this slide shows you the increase in the base levels over time, so dating back to 2021 to the $5,113.26 that we receive in current year, as well as the projected amount for FY27, $5,215.53. So that FY27 amount at $5,215.53 reflects an increase of $102.27. Here, our projected working budget limit is just over 76.2 million, which represents a decrease of about 3.8 million from our projected revised working budget limit, which we anticipate being just under 80.1 million. So that decrease is due to lower projected ADM as well as the loss of one-time funding. Our cost to maintain includes the proposed 1.5% wage increase, and so that is at about 72 million. This leaves a budget balance of approximately 4.2 million before any additional adjustments are made. Those additional considerations are factoring in a 2.38% increase in insurance costs, which equals about $55,000. You can see there's a small offset from a slight reduction in our ASRS rates for next year. On this slide, you will see, again, the cost of the proposed 1.5% raises here. That amount was already included in the cost to maintain. Additional adjustments here include staffing changes related to the enterprise reorganization, as well as anticipated Title I shortfall, and then the reclassifications that were approved during the peer process. So those adjustments are just under 1.1 million. After all of those adjustments, then the remaining balance is approximately 3.1 million, which that provides us with a 4% that we target for reserves each year to remain fiscally responsible. Now, again, these budget projections are designed to minimize impact to the classrooms because obviously that's the most important thing. So student-teacher ratios will not be affected and will be maintained. Our services will not be impacted. We're going to continuously monitor conference and travel requests, careful hiring, and then the use of grant funds when available. And lastly, our district additional assistance is projected to be fully funded at about $549 per weighted student count, so totaling just over 4 million. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Lutz. As we continue, I know the board will, our respective board members will have questions or comments. Senator Quesada.
Yeah, just one question. The one thing I'm not familiar with, on slide 9, the last bullet, the additional expense for reclassification peer process. Can you explain what that means?
Yes, Mr. President, Senator Quesada. So that actually will be explained a little bit further in the next presentation by Ms. Elliott. So Peer, yes, sorry. Peer just went through and finished its process, so there were some reclassifications that were approved. So you will kind of see that in the next presentation.
Thank you. Senator Quesada, I had the same question too, but then I reminded myself that I think we'll get our questions answered right now. And I think there's some positions that they're reviewing. So, anyone else?
I would like to.
Mr. Ortega-Rosales?
Thank you, Mr. President. On page 8, the increase to cost of insurance for FY27, looks like it's a 2.38% increase. So the $55,000 is representing what? Per, I hope not per employee, but what does that reflect?
That's total. Yeah.
Mr. President, Mr. Ortega-Rosales, that's actually the total additional payment that the district will have to make for the next fiscal year for insurance coverage for all of our employees.
and that did not transfer over to the employees. Is that what you're telling me?
No, ma'am, it does not. Although I should say, if an employee chooses to insure their family, then they would have an additional 2.38% that they would be paying for their family's insurance premium. So that is the part that the district pays. And again, Mrs. Elliott will actually go through the peer process, and she'll be able to answer some of those really great questions about insurance and also about reclassification. Yes.
Well, I applaud Peer, and I'll do it again in your presentation. Sorry, but every year we know that insurance, on a personal level, it goes up every year. And what I have experienced with our school district, sometimes it doesn't, and that has a lot to do with what we do around our health and so forth. But the other is that we have continued to take on whatever that increase is for our employees, and that's not an easy task. You have to juggle other things around, and I think it's something that we should always consider. We can't project the future and what that would look like, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather, from a personal level, have that insurance being considered versus even a 0.5% or 0.2% on a raise. This makes a difference, especially when you have a family.
Thank you, Mr. Ortega Rosales. And I know again, I'm jumping ahead, but I know Ms. Elliott will maybe make a comment or two regarding the insurance premiums and regarding as we move forward, because I do know, and I cheated a few years ago by knowing some of the rates here in Pendergast and where our trends were trending in the right direction, if that makes sense. And a lot of that, folks, is, I'm just repeating what you already know, is that when you look at those trends, you look at our this may sound, I hope this doesn't come out wrong, but you look at our employee cohorts and our youthfulness in some respects. Now, that's not I don't want to say it's a double-edged sword, because young people are still having babies. So that does add to our expenses, but then it bounces off here in Pendergast because of our maturity and because of our wellness programs that you cannot underestimate. So you're nodding your head, Patty. Am I right? Am I good so far? A plus or A or F? Huh? You guys get an F. So that is important, and I think that helps with our trending of our insurance, which is a good thing. So good, okay. Ms. Sarah?
Yeah, on the Title I, the shortfall, could it be worse than that? Or on the flip side, could it be better that we wouldn't have that much of a shortfall? Or any inclination as to how that would be? It's slide 9.
Mr. President, Ms. Theron, so that is a great question. The state actually will not release those allocations officially until April 1st. So we will kind of be able to update you with a more accurate response and number at that time. So this is the best that we know at this moment.
Thank you.
Ms. Coronado, anything here? No? Okay. So, yeah, and I think that last but not least, and again, it goes without saying, folks, but I look at the last 9 years of our trajectory, right? We have, we've had a decline in enrollment of about 1,800 students, that impacts us. And again, we're not immune to what's happening in other districts. I'm not saying just here at Pendergast. So certainly we have to be smart in how we look at our fiscal fidelity and responsibilities here. Thank you, Ms. Lutz. Appreciate it. Next on the agenda is we have a presentation and possible approval of the 2026-27 peer agreement. I would like to invite Ms. Patty Elliott up to get us started. Ms. Elliott, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. President, esteemed board members, Dr. Cruz, student board members, cabinet, and our audience. Thank you all for being here. So I think, as you're aware, annually we do meet as peer. That's Pendergast Employee-Employer Relations. And that's the method that we use to come up with an agreement with our employees and work collaboratively to understand things like the budget, and then have the employees vote on it. So we want to thank you, the board, for your support in the collaborative process that we're allowed to work through. I'm going to invite really quick Lisa Mendoza up, who is the state president of the AFT and a teacher at Desert Mirage. And she was involved in the process this year. And just for a brief hello.
Just wanted to introduce myself, Lisa Mendoza. I've been in the district for 14 years, 7th grade math teacher over at Desert Mirage. I am the AFT state president and have been on peer probably at least for 12 years, maybe 13, working in the progress with just working with the human resources, learning everything about salaries, insurance, reclassification, everything. So it's been, I've been honored to be on that committee and be able to see on the back end of the process of it and just how well we collaborate together between staff, the district, between admin, support staff, teachers, everybody, bus drivers, and just together have those positive conversations just to do what's best for the district and for the kids. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza.
So we'll go through what we present then to the employees when we're done with our meetings. We started our meetings back in October without much information because the legislature doesn't start until January, so then we start getting our projected figures. I am going to sort of flip through the next few slides just quickly because you just got the same presentation. So we'll just, this is what is presented to the group as we meet. So they're aware of our enrollment and the ADM and how that impacts the budget. And then we talk about that this is the only information that we have so far. The subcommittees meet with the insurance folks and learn about that. And then knowing the budget and knowing we are shooting for about a 4% carry forward, they understand then the importance of being fiscally responsible. On this slide, we do a voiceover for the presentation so that all employees can watch it on the Wednesday afternoon. And Eric Clemore, who is the local president for our district, did this slide. I was saying I wish I would have voiced over mine in the same room with him because the energy was incredible. And we explained that with all that we had to work with, that a 1.5% increase is what we're presenting for all employee groups on the base. That we would maintain the $2,000 hard-to-fill stipend for those teachers that are in 6th to 8th grade classroom assignments, along with all of our social workers, counselors, special ed teachers, gifted teachers, and all the related services. We also talked about 301 and how much would go on the base. And so for teachers and those professional staff members that were just mentioned, $4,800 will be on the base, so paid throughout the year with their paycheck. And the professional staff, certificated staff teachers, psychologists, counselors, and the related services will get a $3,000, oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. This is $3,000 for eligible hourly staff members, and those are those that impact attendance. So it's our registrars across the street and front office staff that maintain attendance at the school. I jumped over that one. So in the fall, those professional staff members that I just mentioned, teachers, counselors, psychologists, and social workers, the occupational therapists, physical therapists, and speech language pathologists who return to the district. So it is a retention for those staff members of $3,000 that's paid in late fall. Others, again, as we previously explained, will have a $4,800 on the base. Hourly staff would have $3,000 on the base, and all of those are eligible for a $3,000 pay for performance that's paid in the summer if they meet the criteria. We're also proposing that we fund professional growth, and that's when teachers gain more education and move across on the salary schedule. and the reclassifications that have been processed. So on the reclassifications, we did get 4 requests. And of those 4, we had a committee that had classified folks on it. Payroll person was involved, finance, some HR staff, and a teacher who reviewed the requests. We also had input from our consultant that conducted the district's compensation study. Of those that were presented, 3 were approved. And now to the health insurance. So we are proposing that the district continue to pay for the benefit for eligible employees, and that's medical and dental. United Healthcare would remain our medical provider and Delta Dental for the dental. Our increase was 2.38%, resulting in that $55,000. And we are doing well. And last year, we actually came in with a 0% increase, but that was to the premium at the time. There was an increase in funding due to the increase in employees. So during the year with the insurance, you get employees that add on because you've just hired them, and we get some that drop off. And so it fluctuates all through the year. So when we get to the time when they're telling us about our premium, you could have more employees than what you started with. This year, with all, considering all of that and the 2.38%, it was approximately $55,000. And again, those that cover their family, they pay the premium for the family portion. If both husband and wife or dual spouse work for us, they do get a credit for one of those towards the family coverage because we're paying for each employee. So the 2 options that we offer with our medical insurance is a $750 deductible EPO plan. EPO is the same as a PPO, but it's telling us as a group that they don't pay for any out-of-network expenses, so you have to stay in network. Our high deductible plan is being offered as well, and the district is contributing $650 to employees that take on the high deductible plan, and that goes into their health savings account. And unfortunately, the IRS tells us that deductible for high deductible plans has to raise to $1,700, so it's a $50 increase. Copays will remain the same. We have a very good plan. It really does cover a lot, and yet they can get discounts on those copays if they use preferred doctors. And the out-of-pocket maximum, meaning if all the money you spend in a whole year, if you reach over $6,500, then more is covered by the insurance company. And just a note, as we wanted to share with employees that our plan has been doing very well because the trends right now is 10% and up with insurance premium increases. But because we're using our plan well, and one of the main factors is emergency room use, and so that has helped. Our employees are really going to urgent care when they need it. Now, if somebody needs a hospital, we want them to be there. But there's a lot of, if it's just a cold or a flu symptom, an urgent care, and even better is teledoc, because teledoc, you can have 24 hours from anywhere you are, anywhere, and get what you need. And it's free right now, completely free for teledoc. No copay at all, so. We're continuing the early retirement program and recommend that be maintained. It's only for people that were hired after July 1 of 2012, and they have to be 55 years of age before they can even enter it if they're retiring from us. And it means
prior to, right?
Prior to, yes, thank you.
Sorry. No, okay. No, okay.
Yes. And we have had people that are in that right range, but they were not quite 55 years of age, so they thought they qualified, but they didn't. So we're making that clear. And that means the district will pay their insurance premium until they're 65 years of age. And in return, they will work for the district for 35 days without receiving this is their pay. We did propose 2 upcoming calendars, and we did make every attempt to align with the high school district, although we weren't able to align exactly, but very close. So the evaluation instruments were reviewed, and right now there's no changes. There's no legislative action on them, and however, I know with the certified staff, there's going to be study next year to collect more data and see if we need to maybe change our scoring system a little bit. And then we asked them all to vote, and we gave them a deadline, and so as a result, I think we had a 96.3% positive vote saying yes to this package. And so we present that to you. These are all of our members. And we want to thank all of them. Are there other people in the room? Yes, there are. Can you stand if you were on the peer committee, please? And thank you. And you're on it too. But thank you. And I'll just open that up for questions.
Well, thank you, Ms. Elliott, and I guess there is, I don't know, the one advantage of being president is I want to start off, okay? So, and that is to thank you, and also bittersweet. I know this is publicly we haven't had this opportunity, but this is really your last presentation in terms of
My
peer.
last presentation, yes.
I want to sincerely, and on behalf of the board, and this isn't a tearjerker moment or anything, but I do want to thank you because it's the little things that make a difference, and you've heard me say this, folks, and I'll say it again, but we are in a good situation when we are looking at approving or not, making a decision, taking board action in March. Now, granted, it's mid-March, but when you're up against the legislature here in the state of Arizona, it's difficult. Ms. Lutz just facilitate, just presented her. It is difficult when you're juggling monies and not know what's happening here. My only question, or it's not let me first thank you, because there's a lot with insurance, there's a lot with sick pay, there's a lot with the wellness piece, as we talked about, trends, and then you got to do your job during the day, right? Just recruit and retain. So I really want to. And I know the board shares this, but you've done a hell of a job. I'm not sure if I can say that, but anyway, you've done a great job, and you continue to do. And I know that as we compare ourselves to other entities, I'll just leave it at that, we are in a good place. And I know peer, although I'm not involved with peer day in, day out, Ms. Mendoza, thank you for those kind words, because I do know that whether it's IBN, Meet and Confer, peer, or these conversations, they're not easy at times. They're sticky because they're personalized, because people are trying to make ends meet. And, we as a board, we know that. And we know that when you're in there, I look at the committee, it's a nice, diverse group. I look at people here that I've known, that have been part of this district for the right reasons for many years. So it's one of those things where you leave that room, but at the beginning, middle, at the end of the day, it's about doing what's right for our employees, and I think we will continue to do that. So thank you, Ms. Elliott. I hope this is a question. I didn't see, well, it's a statement and a question, so here's where I'm at. I didn't see a retention piece there for our classified staff. Yeah, you thought I'd missed that, but no, I'm kidding. I know we have something written for professional and certificated employees, as we know, and those related, those employees do related services. But if there's something that comes in, Ms. Lutz, in terms of any extra monies, I'd really like us to consider looking at something for our, classified employees, those others, if you will, and I say that very respectfully and carefully, that don't fall into those categories, whether it's 1,000, whether it's you do the math, 200 more employees, it's 200,000 at 1,000. And I know it's easier said than done. I'm not playing finance person because I'm not. And then I'm not playing HR because That's not who I am here. So, but I say that because I think that as I looked at that, that's one piece that we really want to be, that I like to, be conscientious about. And I think my last statement regarding the peer was employee pay raises. 1.5 is, I know it is, folks. I said this to my boys today. Money isn't everything, but once again, fill in the blank, right? Try to buy something without it. And when you look at gas prices, and it's tough, I know, but the good thing is that we're out there, we're transparent, and we're giving people an opportunity, Miss Elliott and Dr. Cruz, to say, hey, I still want to stay here. And it looks like our attrition rate's pretty strong. And when you have 50% of our employee group, is what I saw, vote at a 96.3% favorable rate. Thank you, Ms. Mendoza, for your leadership, and to the teachers and staff that are here, because I'm going to slip again. I think I want to get in trouble, but we do give a damn. We do care for our employees here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just a comment is that we do talk about those things quite a bit, and we're concentrated on the fact that we do not know what the budget really is, and so to be conservative. So we did make the commitment that if there is more money that comes through somehow, that we would reconvene and revisit what we are able to do, with no promise that it's a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
And the retention piece that's there for the professional staff, unfortunately, that is Prop 301, and they're very specific about who can get it. And that's why we maintain that piece that was already there.
Sure. Thank you. Senator Casella?
Well, sure, yeah, Mr.
Oh,
President.
you looked at me, I thought you had it.
No, but I think you brought up a great point regarding our classified employees, and I just want to echo that as well. And I guess I just want to put in the perspective of kind of what that means for our community, but it's our classified employees that are most likely to live here in these neighborhoods, and the ones that are sending their kids to our schools. So if we're helping them, we're helping our students. And so that's a really important aspect. And so I'm a big supporter of finding ways to take care of our classified employees as well.
Thank you, Senator Casella. Anybody else? Miss
No, you go ahead.
Ms. Monica Granado?
Thank you. I don't have any questions. I just want to say thank you for the presentation, and definitely thank Ms. Mendoza for being here as well and sharing your, knowledge and just your leadership in this whole process. And I always love to hear about this peer committee. Just being new on the board, I didn't know too much about it until last year, and I'm just amazed at, having so little to work with just in general, and sometimes not knowing, okay, this is a projected amount. I mean, it's hard enough to decide where funds go when it's certain, but when you're still kind of like this. So just want to thank everyone. I love that I can see the whole list of everyone that's involved, and I was very impressed with the 96% voting rate. So just to thank you for all of this and for explaining it with such passion, and just doing the best with what you've got, and I'm thankful. So thank you for the presentation.
Thank you. I do need to comment that some of those things come up when we're talking, is that the feedback that I get, and Lisa could speak to that too, is that the younger folks that get in there, one of them this was their second year, and they said, gosh, I learned so much more this year. Last year it was kind of like Charlie Brown, like wah, 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 everything we were talking about. But they really understood.
How's that go again?
Yeah, do that again. So, that is a good thing. And the other comment is that we are very transparent with what we've got, what we're trying to do, and why we can't get it. There, question came up, Q&A, 2%, why aren't we getting 2%? And we explained, because that goes to your supplies, and 2% didn't just go for salaries. It pays for the medical insurance, it pays for all those other things too. So, and they understood. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Elliott. Ms. Ortega Rosales?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. President. First of all, I echo everything that my peers have said. I'm not going to repeat it, but great points. Peer for me is something that is close to me, because I used to do this in another world. And the most important piece of any peer committee is trust. Trust in each other, but also to be open about things that you may not agree on. That's the whole point of peer. And what I've seen in the many years that you have presented for us, you certainly have a model that probably could be emulated anywhere if they had the right ingredients in place, right? Number one, the leadership, the commitment, the engagement, and that sense of we know we can't give it all, but we know what's important, and that you come to that consensus. So, you know, some districts spend months and months and months, and, you know, as late as they can, one day before that deadline is there, they're scrambling. I don't see that here, and you should be really congratulating yourselves. And Ms. Mendoza, it's important for that relationship between the two leadership groups, make that happen, because if there's any disagreement or tension, the rest of the committee will see that. So you both need to congratulate yourself. And I don't know how you do it, being a teacher and then being the state president of the teachers union. That is incredible. Yeah. Kudos to you, and you make us proud. You make us proud. The other thing is, you talked about Teledoc, you could go anywhere. Is it universal or international as well?
That I don't know, but I do know it's all over the United States and Hawaii, because I had to use it when
Okay.
and they called into the Walgreens down the street. I had my prescription that day. So it is something that's really worth using. So
yes,
we're promoting that more, along with I didn't mention in here, but you're right, our wellness program expanded, and the things that we offer through there. It all helps contribute to your rate, and possibly helps you keep that increase from being so large.
Good. Well, that's all I had. Again, congratulations, and the numbers continue to get better in terms of those who are engaged in voting and how they're voting. Now, we don't expect for it to be at zero for the disagreed ones, right? The ones who disagree. But this is excellent. Based on the constraints that we have, this is really good. Really good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teguera. Ms. Sarah, any?
Again, thank you both for the presentation. Excellent. And I want to thank the committee for all their hard work. Absolutely. Because it's not an easy job. And how many months do you go through this process, Patty?
Well, we started in late October, so now, and honestly, you know, we could have looked at going further, but we don't see any new information coming out of the legislature that looked like we were going to get any more information.
Right.
So.
Right. But, and your loop outs to all the employees and everything, and it really works with 96% of our employees saying yes, and they have faith in our district, they truly do. And, you know, I know our retention rate is good, so they really like what's going on in the Pendergast district. I really have to say that, you know, and that's why they're voting for this and saying, hey, yeah, we know money's tight, but we like it here. But again, thank you for your hard work. Very much appreciated.
Mr. President?
Yes, ma'am.
If I could say one more thing. The individuals who voted no, are we looking at any comments that they may have when they took that vote, so that we can look at it for next year? Is it something that we can improve
We
on?
didn't leave a dialogue box
Okay.
in that. However, we did capture some other information, like whether they're an administrator, a certified, or a support staff, and then whether or not they're staying in the district.
Okay.
And I just, we do make it anonymous, so nobody has to worry. So I don't collect email addresses, so I have no idea. But it struck me that those that were leaving the district, it's almost the same percentage as those that voted no.
Yeah, and that happens.
Maybe that's not a correlation, but it's funny that it's right there.
Yeah. You're never going to get 100%, and if you do, something's wrong, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teguera. Thanks again, Ms. Elliott. Really appreciate your leadership and advocacy. So as we continue, can I have a motion to approve the 2026-27 peer agreement as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Ms. Lucero makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Senator Casales seconds. Any discussion? With that said, Carrie, please take a roll call vote.
Martin Cazada?
Yes.
Hilda Ortega Rosales? Susan Sarin?
Yes.
Monica Granado?
Yes.
And Jose Arenas?
Yes.
There being 5 in favor, the motion carries.
Okay, we're almost done. Hang in there, folks. Is there a motion to move into exec session pursuant to ARS 38-438.03A.1 superintendent's evaluation? That's what we're going in exec session for. Can I have a motion to move to exec session?
So moved.
Senator Casale makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Monica Granado seconds. Carrie, please take a roll call.
Martin Cazada?
Yes.
Hilda Ortega Rosales?
Yes.
Susan Sarin?
Yes.
Monica Granado?
Yes.
And Jose Arenas?
Yes.
There being 5 in favor, the motion carries.
Before we do break, folks, we'd like to formally wish our incredible Vice President, Ms. Monica Granado, a very happy birthday. Last week was her birthday, 19 years old. Please join me and us in singing to her as we enjoy a cupcake. Also, a quick commercial for those of you, joining us on Facebook Live. At the conclusion of the exec session, we will not be rejoining on Facebook. The meeting will be adjourned and no additional discussions or presentation will occur. So our next regular board meeting, for those who are still here, will be at 6 p.m. April 18th. So with that said, please, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Wow. Happy birthday, Miss Monica Granado, Vice President.
Happy birthday to you.
Again, happy birthday, Felicidades, Mr.
Yeah, put him
Have a
on
safe
the-
evening, everyone.
Please